Final race here for the 420s. 3, 2, 1. And they're off. It looks to me like it's all clear. And yes, confirmed by the race committee, nobody's over as we enter the final race of the regatta. Here at our end, we've got boat number 20, who is Kieran Chung and Ryan Davidson. Down at the other end, boat 2, Alex Curtis and Connor Adams getting off the line well. But the main focus for us in this race is going to be at the top. Coming into the race, we've got Graham Landy and Colin Murphy, who will be wearing yellow pennies as they are the regatta leaders coming into today. They've got 21 points. It was close coming into today, but Chris and Daniel Sagerbloom just had their worst race at the regatta. They drop that and keep their old scores. They've got 37 points, 16 points behind the leaders. Graham Slattery and Brian Drum have 40 points. They're in third. Jack Jorgensen, Samantha Gebb have 43, also in contention for a medal. And Corbin Kirk, Jake Ladow have 54. Top female, also Lily Katz with 56 points. So in the top of the fleet there. Her crew, Spencer McDonough. So we'll be watching those as we go around the course. It started off light today, but the wind is filling in nicely here for the final race of the regatta. At the second windward mark, the 420s now approaching their final downwind leg, and leading the race, Graham Slattery and Brian Drum. Now remember that Slattery and Drum are third overall and very close to the Sagerblooms for second. And so right now they are in that silver medal podium position as they set the spinnaker and head downwind to the gate. But here come your regatta leaders, wearing the yellow penny here. Graham Landy, Colin Murphy. And they're rounding in second here. Pretty much just a victory lap at this point. And they will be your 2010 U.S. Sailing Youth Champs. Excellent regatta sailed by those guys. In third here, boat 24. Excuse me one second while I put the results away and grab the scratch sheet. Boat 24, Georgie Ryan, Haley Kirk. 15 is Sean Golden and Doyle Calhoun. They round fourth. Back at the mark here, Michael Dahl, Nicole Grice will be fifth. And these boats, the 420s have been really overstanding the ley line the past few days. On this race though, they gotta be careful with the current pulling them. Alex Curtis, Connor Adams, who we saw winning the boat, rounding sixth. And there's a good example of what I was talking about. Kieran Chung, Ryan Davidson, who we saw get a great start down at the pin end there, have trouble here on the ley line, coming up short, and more boats now tacking across. So those guys are spinning. Meanwhile, Adam Pokris, Nikki Obel struggle to get around. Hung up on the mark right now is Marcus Edegren and Nick Gallagher. These guys had a legitimate shot at winning. They've had a lot of trouble with yellow flags, getting a couple of disqualifications because of that. They were looking good in this race, but hit the mark and have to spin. Alex Ramos and Alexandra Sullivan rounding next. Alex Jacob and Ben Buell. And here they are, Chris and Daniel Sagerbloom, struggling now just to stay on the podium. Not having the best day here as they raise their SoCal spinnaker with the bear on it. Yeah, we gotta get going. Here come the rest of the fleet. Time to get down to the bottom. Here they come, Graham Slattery and Brian Drum clinching the silver medal here on the final race of the regatta. Nice job, boys. So a bullet in the final race, a second place overall at the 2010 Youth Champs, but right behind them, Graham Landy, Colin Murphy, wearing the yellow pennies, cruising into the finish here. No question now. It was close coming into today, but after this race, they just annihilate the competition. A second in the first race today, a first here. That's gonna do it. It's all smiles for these two. They know it. The 2010 Youth Sailing Champions. Michael Dahl and Nicole Grice hang on for third. Georgie Ryan and Haley Kirk finish fourth. Ryan and Kirk, possibly the top females. They're probably going to be second in the female division. Sean Golden and Doyle Calhoun finish next. Alex Curtis and Connor Adams approaching the finish line. Behind them we've got boat 27, Adam Pokris and Nikki Obel to windward. Actually, they're in the middle of that group. To windward of everybody's Kieran Chung and Ryan Davidson. And to leeward, Max Simmons and Nick Barta. Who's it gonna be in this group? Looks like Chung and Davidson edging them out. Then Pokris and Obel. Then Simmons and Barta. Next to approach the line, boat number 9, Alexander Ramos, Alexandra Sullivan. Then we've got Edegren and Gallagher, followed by Jacob and Buell. Behind Jacob and Buell, we've got the Sagerblooms. And it looks like, not completely sure about this, but it looks like the Sagerblooms will be finishing third overall. They're finishing this race good enough. Finishing just behind the Sagerblooms, Jack Jorgensen, Samantha Gebb. They had the best shot at the podium and did not beat the Sagerblooms, so it looks like that will be the final order. We'll have to find out on shore, but it looks like Slattery will be taking second, Sagerbloom taking third. So that's going to do it. The 420 is on their way in. Nice regatta.